All right. What is up, everyone? How we doing? Happy Thursday night. You are live here with Living in Denver and the
It's
Mile High Property Brothers.
happy Tuesday night. We're on Tuesday, not Thursday.
Wow. Happy
And it's fun
Tuesday night.
because listen, we get to welcome you guys into our homes. This is something that myself and Eli are going to be doing once a week. We're going to be showing you guys a lot
Yes.
more of the development side of Colorado, more specifically just in and around the Denver area. Today we've got some great topics Eli's gonna talk about. But Eli, you were so nervous about like, oh, dude, we don't want to mess it up. It's live, and like
And I
here you
say
are calling
Thursday
it
out of
Thursday.
the gate.
Right? Like we had a good conversation about Thursdays as we started looking at analytics with all of you. It looks like we've got a lot more consistency around Tuesday evenings when folks have time to sit down and watch, and we want to make sure we're there because as you guys see more of these. And they're predictable and they're at the same time, the same day. All of your questions that come up in the comments, we'll be able to answer some of those and really come into just to more detail as far as anything that you guys might have specifically and just interact with the audience a lot more. But Eli,
That's right. That's
well, I
right.
appreciate you, buddy. This was fun, man.
Yeah. So guys, we are planning on doing this every Tuesday at roughly 6 o'clock Mountain Time, right? So that'd be 8 o'clock East Coast, 5 o'clock West Coast, if you're out there in California, like a lot of our folks are.
Yeah.
And really we want to start doing these because we want to start giving you guys some insights to like Will just said, what's going on, what's new with developments, what's new with the current state of the market, what are some of the more exciting things going around, in Denver and the surrounding areas right now. And, we'd love for you guys to come on here and engage with us, ask any live questions that you may have, any of that stuff. So definitely don't be afraid to interact, leave a comment or anything like that. But really, this is a great way for not only for us to get, more of a personal side of Will and Eli with our out of state viewers, but also for the people that are our past clients that have already moved here and they're already enjoying Denver or wherever they're living to learn more about some of the things that are upcoming, with the Denver real estate market and developments. There's a ton of stuff that's coming on here.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of locals now, right? Several hundred prior clients from our YouTube channel, and
Mm-hmm.
they're already enjoying Colorado. But we've also just got some clients that are natives of Colorado and they've never necessarily left and they've moved with us, but they're also curious about development. So, what better way to kind of have some content out there that's two birds, one stone? Well, it's all the exciting development. But you guys are not going to miss our traditional videos that we do every Saturday. Those are still going to be up. They're still going to be everything that you guys want them to be. This is just that next layer. But Eli, let's dive into it, man. We're talking about River Walk today, River Mile.
River
Correct?
Mile. Yep, River Mile. Yes. So one of the newest and biggest and most talked about developments that is coming to the Denver area, not the Denver area, but downtown Denver, is this area called the River Mile. Now, to set the stage on what this is and where this is going before we start diving into it, essentially, and we can probably just jump on Google Maps here real quick. Let me go ahead
Google
and
Earth,
get that.
man. Show your Top Gun, Tom Cruise, Maverick abilities. I'm always bragging about it. It always sounds like it being
Let's
sarcastic, but I'm not, man. You're just ripper at it. But it would be nice if we could Google Earth it because we could just go from a bird's eye view zoomed out, and then we can really zoom in on the specific area that we're showing, and then give you guys a couple buildings, landmarks that are just
yes.
references for you guys as far as like where to expect it. And there's some exciting news. So this River Mile, while Eli's getting set up, this has been in conversation for probably the past 5-6 years, to be honest with you. Maybe even a little bit longer, but I
Since
know for
since
sure.
2018, yeah.
Yeah, so for sure, right? So Math for Marines, it's 2025, 2026, almost 2026. So yeah, almost 8 years. We've known about it for at least 5 or 6. But then it had a halt and it's had some pauses. Maybe that could
Uh-huh.
have been COVID related. I'm sure some of it was affected by COVID. Then you've got, as far as like what just after COVID, materials to be imported and things like that from overseas when it comes to just metals and woods,
Mhm.
were a little difficult. But then it seemed like there was a pivot because of ownership. And Eli, I know you're going to be diving into that because the same folks that own Meow Wolf, I think, are involved with the ownership of River Mile. And what's
Yes.
cool about this, I'll give you guys a little bit of a teaser and then we'll show you. But the original plans, they were going to be getting rid of Elitch Gardens.
Yep.
Then that was going to be going somewhere else. And that's
Which
one of
is
our.
our big, like, Six Flags, essentially, like, amusement park, if you guys don't know
Yeah,
either.
it's a great one. It's actually called Six Flags Elitch Gardens. I think Six Flags bought Elitch Gardens, but they still call it. So it's like Six Flags Elitch Gardens. Great park. It's kind of lost its way these past couple of years, but from the sound of it, they're keeping it. But they're still going to have the infrastructure and all the condos and whatever may be that are going to go down there, but not having to get
Mhm.
rid of Elitch Gardens, which is really cool, right? So if we can dive into it, Eli, if you're ready for it,
Yeah, let's do it.
let's just kind of bird's eye view it. So as you guys can see,
So yeah, so I'll zoom out here a little bit. So right here, you guys can see Denver. We've got Denver right here in the middle, right? You've got I-25 that is going to run up along the west side of downtown Denver.
and that's your
And
north and south. Yep.
yep. So top is north here. And then as we start zooming in here a bit, you're going to see Empower Field. This is where you'll see like the football games, right? That's where the Broncos play.
That's where
And
you'll see the football games. Can you guys tell Eli does not watch a lot of sports?
the football games. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the home of the Denver Broncos. You guys can see the logo right there in the seats.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
there. Now that's just going to be just to the west side of I-25, so just across the highway.
Now, just here on the east side of I-25, I'll kind of change our angle here a bit. You're going to see the South Platte River, which is this river that literally runs right through downtown Denver. And it's not a giant river, but it's a legit river. People will go and they'll tube on it. They'll go and literally kayak. There's like kayak to work day in Denver. If you haven't heard of that, that is definitely a thing, believe it or not.
We have
And
not done that.
right here along the river, you're going to see Elitch Gardens. Okay. And
And
then,
then Eli, see that dome? That's Ball
yep,
Arena.
yep,
That's where the Denver Nuggets play. Now you guys see a lot of this open space. That is literally just giant parking lot. You've got
true.
the small building, that you guys can kind of see in the middle of that parking lot. That's a gas station. You've got a little bit of like development that's kind of like going on, but this is all major parking because even though Empower Field, where the Broncos play, is on the west side of I-25, believe it or not, all of that parking gets filled up at the stadium. All the overflow is just across, so you can literally walk under the highway, go to the stadium. But all of the major parking is going to be shared with Ball Arena. So all that open space is just parking lot. So literally,
Mhm.
Elitch Gardens and Children's Museum and all that, is literally right there, right next to Ball Arena and right on the river.
Yeah, and personally, I'm really excited that they're going to be focusing on this development because there is so much stuff happening out here from the Broncos to the Denver Aquarium, which is actually really good, to Elitch's and then Ball Arena, but it's not. It definitely is not utilized to what it could be. You just have this huge parking lot, which a parking garage would be much better, which that is in the plans. You don't have a lot of hotels and things like that right down here. You don't have a lot
Now,
of shopping and dining.
now we know why Eli is not going to Bronco games because he's like parking garage. Hello, like it's like, oh, that's why. Like that's why you're not going to games. Okay, I got it.
Yeah,
Got
but I mean, if you just look at it, like it actually is just kind of an ugly area. You've got
it. Well, yeah.
this lone gas station right here. So it's been a long time in the making where what could be a really cool area is just very, very underutilized.
And I think you've got, like, you've got the railroad that kind of passes through there as well, which is really cool, but also just kind of like you got to work around that. And
Mhm.
Elitch Gardens used to be in a different location a long time ago. They've been in this spot ever since I've grown up. But, to be honest with you, I feel like amusement parks are just not getting the same amount of utilization and appeal with the younger generation as it used to. I feel like the destinational stuff like Disney World, Disneyland, people still travel to, and
Mhm.
maybe some of that's fallen off. We'd have to really dive into it to look before you guys quote me on that. But it's definitely just not. It's not as the thing. Like I remember season passes, brother, when we were in
Oh
high
yeah.
school, and it was like this was the thing, and I don't feel like that's the thing anymore. But it hasn't moved, so you just have this huge area that's not. Now I do feel if they just better utilize a lot of like how you come in and come out of this area. If
Mhm.
you're putting townhomes and shopping in and around it, could you get more people to go into the amusement park, especially for the holidays and Halloween and all the different things the amusement park does in addition to just having rides? 100%. There's not a lot happening around it, and I feel like that's a major contributor as into why, yeah, it's just kind of parking, and you're going to a Rockies game, a basketball game, or a football game, and that's it. So, these
Mhm.
townhomes and the shopping and the different things that we're going to show you guys tonight, I feel will be a huge contributor to just proximity, all the foot traffic, and really opening this park up.
Exactly. So let me jump over to the River Mile website to actually show you guys some of the vision of what's going to happen here. So we're just going to scroll through this, but here you can see South Platte River. So the first thing that they've been focusing on is actually getting the river in good condition. So they made it, they did a ton of cleanup around here. They made it way deeper and they're actually going to be putting in some like little like whitewater areas so that you
Yeah, when you're
can
talking
get
about
out
good,
there and kayak.
not to cut you off, sorry, Eli.
Go ahead.
When you mean good, be specific because the water's clean. Colorado has very clean water. So when you mean getting it in good condition, like just kind of like clear the air, pun intended, clear
I
the air.
literally think cleaner because it is. We have good water, but it's not maintained at all. I mean, up to this
Oh, I
point, it runs right downtown. You know, you do have a lot of like runoff and like rainwater runoff and stuff that goes into there.
okay,
And really, it's just been something that's kind of there, but hasn't really been cared for. So
got it.
the first thing that they're wanting to do is like, hey, let's just get the South Platte River to actually be something that people want to utilize and jump into,
Okay,
versus just this like downtown stream that we have. So,
that makes sense. Just better
yeah,
filtration, just way better
make,
usability, especially
yeah,
if you're making this river mile. Like if you're having people that are rafting more, utilizing it
exactly.
with walks, like definitely,
Yep.
definitely.
So they're looking at adding about 16,000 residential units here.
Wow.
And what they're starting off is they're starting off with some offices and commercial, right? Because you put in new commercial, new offices, new places for people to go, and then the residences are going to follow. So just some of these things here, this is what they're planning on doing. So essentially, this is going to be broken up into 3 different sections. They're starting off with this one here on the right called Headwater. And as you can see, we've got,
Eli, real quick, just to
yep,
like help with the audience,
yeah, yeah.
can you use your mouse and just is it showing, or maybe you can zoom a little bit? Where is the amusement park? Is it just to the north
So
of all this
the
infrastructure?
football stadium is right here.
Correct.
And then it looks like, if I had to guess, the
Where's the Village
amusement
Gardens? It's
park,
still right there. I know it's not
yep,
highlighted, but I mean, this is a
it's going to be
huge,
right on this
huge
side.
build, right? So this is all going to be a lot of that unincorporated space and some of that parking space. That's all going to be built, and then that it'll be literally between Ball Arena and
Yep. So here's
the
ball right down here.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So all of these, we've got new transit, like light rail stations, hotels, condos. Here they're doing office, retail, residentials up top. And then down here, new bike paths, pedestrian walkways, 2 new bridges, and light rail bridges as well. So they're starting off with this section, and they're slowly going to be working their way over here, which is essentially going more down south. Uh, to finish off down here. So as we scroll down, and actually let me touch on this here a little bit, because they do lay out just what this stuff is going to look like. So like right here where we've got these like river access points, again, you can see people with their little like surfboard things, kayaks, tubes, things like that. They this isn't going to be an area where it's like, hey, just watch the water. It's like, no, hey, you can come here and have fun, honestly, all year long. Tons of outdoor seating areas. Very, very Colorado. One of the things that they're really focused on is the amount of nature that they're putting in here. That's one great thing I love about Colorado is even
Yeah.
in downtown, you're going to find tons of trees, tons of natural landscaping and grasses and things like that. Here, I don't know how much I believe this one. We're going to have people literally surfing in the,
Like you got these guys fly fishing for surfers.
yeah, yeah,
What was
yeah,
that commercial with the guy with the dollar bill on the hook? Gotta be
yeah,
quick,
got it.
man. Like, yeah, these
Exactly.
skateboarders like surfing for dollars, man. Like, now that's a great view because you guys are looking at a very realistic view to the right here,
Yep.
and then you've got the river walk. So this is literally like if you're looking at this, even though you're looking at the development at the top of your screen, that's actually south, right? And because north of the development is going to be the river, and then more north of that, you'd be having I-25 where it
Hmm.
bends. So this will be the south side of the river, even though it's at the top of your screen. We're looking at it,
Yes.
looking down and through from. We're looking at it from the north, just so you guys understand.
And then, Will, to answer your question earlier, like right here, this just shows the before and after. So it says
Yeah.
before restoration, poor shoreline conditions, no trail, lots of sand buildup, no real good clean access into the water. So that's a lot of what they're trying to change here. And then again, this says, what are we doing? They're starting with the water, right? It says, if our research has brought to light one main idea, it's that to the greatest degree possible, you should let a river do what it wants to do. They want to meander, creating a variety of depths and conditions, places that run deeper and colder for fish, other places that run faster and shallower to help aerate the water. Also rivers don't like dams, which causes sand buildup. So that's a lot of what they've been focusing on right now. And that's part of what's been going on with the big delay. Because, again, all this was approved in 2018, but you haven't seen a whole lot of anything happen until now. So let's go to our next point as to why, because I think this is really interesting, especially when you're looking at the greater landscape of Denver developers. Who's the pockets behind all of this development that is coming to Denver? Because I think that plays an important role. So the most recent development as early this year, the owner, the Kroenke family, who owns the Nuggets and the Avs and the land that Meow Wolf sits on, and 117 acres in downtown Denver, came in and they
Holy
purchased
crump.
this project from the original developers. Sorry, what was that, Will?
I said, holy cronky.
Dude, yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Listen, man, I don't know what I contribute to this. You're uber smart. You do a lot of research with this. I'm the native. I love just giving proximity, but
Mm-hmm.
how exciting this is, man.
Dude, super exciting. And again, looking at how much of an impact this person has had on Denver thus far, I do think it's a really good idea that you just get one person who can come in versus this team of investors, which is probably why it's been sitting there. So I don't know what was going on with their financials or whatever, but
Well, we've
bottom
got
line is,
NHL championships. We've got NBA championships now. Like you definitely
see,
have some folks. I mean, the Walton family owning the Denver Broncos. Like they've got a very winners mentality with how they've structured the team. There's a lot of people that are
mhm,
in Denver that are really excited about where Denver is going. It's already successful. It's already beautiful. But man, you hear about these things in Houston. You hear about these things in Austin. It's like,
yep,
dude, Denver is one of the top places that you guys can live or be and enjoy. And it's really starting to take shape as far as like there's a couple gaps we have with downtown. There's a couple gaps we've got in some other areas, but they're really starting to come full circle with it. And it's going to make it really hard with low property taxes and our economy and the workforce here, plus all these other things that they're adding. Like it's going to be really hard to compete against Denver as far as like pleasurability for where you want to live.
yes, yes. Oh, 100%. And we'll finish off with this quote here from Stanley Kroenke. Realizing sole ownership of these properties will allow us to streamline our comprehensive vision for the future development encompassing the River Mile and the adjacent Ball Arena campus. We'll talk about the Ball Arena redevelopment in a future live video here. But it is just, it's very important that this was just like, taken over by someone that can actually just make this stuff happen.
Look at this
Yep.
picture right here, Eli, before you
Yes.
continue,
Yep.
just to give so see this picture, guys, like you're looking at the river that's right there to the left. This is all just to the south of the river. But a great example is like we've got a great football stadium, but that's actually getting redone as well. We're gonna be talking
Mhm.
about that. They're moving the stadium, they've got a brand new development for the stadium, and it sounds like we're gonna have an actual roof that retracts on the stadium, which means we can have the
Oh,
Super
nice.
Bowl in Denver because we're not worried about like snow and unpredictable weather in Denver during Super Bowl times, right? Like in I think it's end of January, early February when the Super Bowl happens. But even with the stadium we have today, it's very good. So let's just stay there. But between Ball Arena and between the Children's Museum and the aquarium and the Bronco Stadium, you've got a lot of these individually impressive little cells for whether it's the shark experience, whether it's professional sports, but they're all separate.
Yep.
Nothing has really brought them together to just make one entire ecosystem where all of your entertainment in downtown Denver, from museums and aquatic stuff to professional sports and entertainment and concerts that you go to at the stadium, nothing's really brought it into like having one utopia where even though you've got these separate major buildings for those, everything in between, I mean, everything is going to be walkable because the proximity that they
Mhm.
already are. The new development for the Bronco Stadium is still very close, but it's going to be everything that you can do in and around these stadiums and these places where you go to concerts and not only just enjoy, but you can live right in the heart
Yes.
of the thing. I mean, and I feel like this is what's really making it come full circle, right? This is what's really tying everything together.
Oh, yeah.
That is just such a game changer for downtown.
It is. And then the last thing I want to point out here, and this is why I love having a local who just understands Denver development involved in this. It says River Mile leadership has always planned to move Elitch's to another location. So when this was owned by Revesco, the organization prior who was planning all this out, they were going to get rid of Elitch's, and people were not happy. So now that it's been taken over, it says that for now, Elitch's, they don't have any plans to make it go anywhere. The executive president said a day at Elitch's is a rite of summer for more than 1 million visitors annually. We intend to keep it that way and better than ever. So like Will said, that had been there, since he had grown up. It is really unique to have this amusement park in downtown. You don't normally see that, with amusement parks. So personally, I'm a big fan if they're able to keep that. And then this does say that River Mile plans to finish building its first neighborhood for the project in 2027. So construction has yet to start, but they do plan on having at least their first projects completed by 2027.
And just what does this mean for you as a homeowner, whether you're local right now and you're a homeowner here in Denver, or whether you're looking at moving to Denver and you're curious about home ownership? Not that I have to spell this out for everybody, but anytime you're increasing a downtown livable value like this, and you are creating such an extremely game-changing project, equity across the board in the Denver metro area will not only do we continue to hold value now, we've always held really well, regardless of economy across the country. Colorado's really done well. Even in 08, it did really well. During COVID and post, it's done really well. The past 3 years have been slower for real estate. Our prices have held really well. The economy is good here. Home economy is good here. Things like this only increase value and demand of people who want to live in Colorado. It's a huge thing. So as this thing starts to come, if you guys are here, whether you're looking at moving here now or a year from now, these are things that you can look forward to, not just from experiencing it, but just enjoying the increase in the equity overall of the Denver metro area.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So moving right along, we are going into our next new and exciting development. This one we are going to talk about is Parker, Colorado. So it just had its grand opening, but we have a brand new Whole Foods in Parker. And this is a big deal because they have a really nice Whole Foods in Castle Rock. They've got the next nicest Whole Foods is in probably Aurora or Denver, honestly, or actually Highlands Ranch would be the next one from Parker. But Parker, this has been one thing that we've always had to go somewhere else for, right?
Well, you got to go north of 470 in Parker Road.
Yeah.
You got Trader Joe's. Do you have a Whole Foods there, or am I thinking of Trader Joe's?
So this is where the new Whole Foods is. So this is what's so unique about this, and what's so special about this Whole Foods opening up here in Parker, Colorado, is that within literally one parking lot of each other, you have a Whole Foods now just opened, you have a Costco, and you have a Trader Joe's. And then across the street, you have a King Soopers, which is our traditional grocery store. That would be like your Kroger's, right? Correct. So if I show you guys on the map here, let me kind of reorient us.
Yep. So this is a great view. So what you guys can't see at the top of your screen, we don't need to venture out, but if you guys were to keep going through the top of the screen to the north, eventually you'd end up in downtown Denver. So right now we are southeast of downtown Denver. This main vertical road that you're looking at, that is your north-south, that is Parker Road.
Yep, right here.
You guys can kind of see that, right? So we're southeast of downtown Denver by about 30 minutes, right? You've got 470. Yes. This 470 highway is coming in from left to right. That's your toll road. It's a great thoroughfare for everywhere you guys want to go when it comes to airport, et cetera, et cetera. But this major road is Highway 83, which is what we call Parker Road. And then right on that belt of 470 and Parker Road, you've got this huge parking lot with this great big mall. I think you just passed it. Go a little bit further.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So going just up here, here's our
north of 470. Correct.
Yep. So this whole area right here. So this is Google Earth, so it's a little bit outdated, but this right here is where the new Whole Foods is. Okay. And then just going across the street here, this is where, man, this must be really outdated. This is where you've got your Costco right here. And then you've got your Trader Joe's right over here.
I think Costco might be just to the right, buddy. See that big building?
Oh, it is. Jeez Louise. There's Costco. So, my bad.
So Trader Joe's is that bottom one right there.
Here.
And then I'm pretty sure that's Trader Joe's. And then you've got Costco, which is a humongous one. And then this brown one in the middle, that's got a barber shop. It's got a Chipotle and a couple of other little mom and pop shops in. That's that brown one right there.
Yep.
It's just to the left of Trader Joe's. Yep, that's a normal, your strip mall. Again, barbershop, Chipotle, you name it. And then you've got you've got like the Sportsman's spot
Where
right there to
yeah,
the upper. Nope, keep going right there. Yep, that's your Sportsman. That's very similar to like a Cabela's or a Bass Pro Shop.
it's like if Cabela's were a Kmart. This
Yeah.
is the Kmart version of Cabela's.
Good. If you're just calling them generic or off brand, it's still not a bad store.
It,
It's just not
it's
Cabela's.
it feels like a Kmart inside.
100%. You've got a
Yeah,
couple little strip malls around here, but the main thing that you're talking about, Eli, is definitely the Trader Joe's, the Costco, and then
yeah.
now you can see some of that exposed land where that
This is
Whole
your
Foods
Whole Foods.
is, which is just across the street. Correct.
Correct. Yep. And then what's perfect about all these stores together is, ironically, you typically need to go to all three to have a complete shopping experience, right? Like
Oh,
there's
not me. No.
there's things you're going to get from Costco, and then you're like, but we got to get this thing over at Whole Foods, and then this random like seasoning or something that we like to get is over at Trader Joe's.
Oh man.
I know, it's
Oh
true.
God.
It's
Like,
true. I know, it's sad.
figure out your pace of how you guys like to shop. I mean, I'll tell you, if you're going on a Saturday, if you're going at 10, 11 o'clock on a Saturday, this will be a busy parking lot. It
Oh
will
yeah.
be really hard. Now, I will say Whole Foods is definitely kind of like freed up Costco and Trader Joe's a little
Uh-huh.
bit, because a lot of Trader Joe's you can find at Whole Foods, vice versa. Trader Joe's is probably a little bit more hyper specific with like,
Mhm.
clean options, et cetera, et cetera. But it definitely helps some of that. And it's good that it's across the street. That definitely helps out with some of the parking. What I do like is if you guys are living in Southeast Aurora and you're coming home from Denver Tech Center or whatever off of 470, this is right next to it. If you live in Parker or Elizabeth or anything like that, a lot of that is on your way
Yep.
home, right? So when it comes to some of your shopping experience, you don't necessarily have to like do all your shopping on a Saturday morning and just chalk up 4 hours to go fight that battle. Like maybe you just break it up Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, you name it. But you can hit these spots right off of 470 or Parker Road, depending on where you're living. But again, between Parker, North Parker, Southeast Aurora, Elizabeth, Franktown, Pradera, a lot. I mean, Centennial. If you're living close to Centennial, you're gonna be right next to this or past this on your commute home. I would definitely suggest maybe doing some things after work in your evenings if doable.
Yeah, and the big thing too, and this is why we want to point this out on these lives, is because this is all just a huge indication of what's to come in an area, right? When a company like Whole Foods is coming in and they're deciding to put a new location in a certain city, it's because they're looking at certain demographics, they're forecasting what's going to happen. So anytime you're starting to see these new developments in an area, this is somewhere where you should start paying attention to where, hey, they're probably anticipating a ton of growth in Parker around this area. So if you want to be at the forefront of those things, the best thing to do is start looking at the developments, because I promise no one is doing more research on an area and forecasting what's going to happen than a massive corporation like Whole Foods deciding where to put a new spot. Now, another one that we want to talk about, we won't spend too much time on this, but another one we want to talk about is this new Whole Foods that is coming to Central Park. Now, we just recently did a Central Park video. This is located up. It used to be called Stapleton. So if you see anything about Stapleton, that and Central Park are basically one and the same. But this is located in Denver. Let me zoom out here. This is going to be, you can see this little green box here. This is going to be the new Whole Foods. Here is I-70, which is our major east-west highway, which will take you all the way out to the mountains and all the way to Denver International Airport, and is basically, at least the Whole Foods location, is located right in the middle of I-25 and then 225.
Correct.
And you've got Central Park right here and the new Whole Foods just off the highway.
So zoom out just a tad bitty. Right there. Okay, now use your cursor, Eli, just to hover over downtown Denver and the new River Mile.
Yep.
That's going to be to your left. You guys will see it, or he could just
Yep. So here we've got, let's see, I need to go over a little bit more.
To your left. Yep.
Yep. So here we'll stay out here. So here we've got our Coors Field. That's our baseball stadium, right? That's where we play baseball games.
Circle downtown Denver and the Riverwalk. Just
yeah.
kind of like circle.
Here's downtown Denver, and then we've got that Riverwalk area is going to be right around here.
Roughly, yeah, it's a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's up a little bit further north than that, just a tad bit, but it's on the bend. See,
Oh,
see
yep,
where
right
my
here.
cursor
Yeah,
is?
here's Meow Wolf. Yep, you're correct. Right here.
Oh, I know. I'm the native.
Boom. Right here.
I'm the native wearing the Yankee hat.
Right here.
Long
There we go.
story. I'll always be a Yankee fan. Okay, so that's your Riverwalk that we were speaking about at the beginning of this video. Now, if we zoom out just a tad bit, what you guys will see is like I-25 starts to kind of bend a little bit and it connects to I-70.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you go directly east about 10 minutes right there. So as you guys can see now, Eli, can you connect I-25 to I-70?
Yep.
Just kind of draw it down to the Riverwalk. So right there, and then kind of go down to the Metro State. So right there. So that's right where you guys can see like that purple mark, right where he went through it on I-25. You're literally just going to go north a bit on I-25 up to I-70, and you're going to
Mm-hmm.
go I-70 maybe 10 minutes, right? And guys, I know it looks far. It's really not, right? And traffic
Mm-hmm.
here it does really well comparatively to other major cities. This is just to give you guys a little bit of context and proximity to, where Central Park is related to downtown Denver that we were showing earlier. So
Correct.
literally 10 minutes east of downtown Denver.
Yes. And what's unique about Central Park here, guys, is that, this is an area that, and if you're curious about like seeing pictures and drone and all that stuff, definitely go watch the video we posted just about 2 Saturdays ago. But this is think new build, master planned oasis with a Denver
Oh, yeah.
address where you're 10 minutes from the city.
You got amazing suburban homes. You've got these modern homes that are out there, but it's all in like this sanctuary. The way that
Mm-hmm.
they built this encumbrance called Central Park. I mean, you barely even hear the highway. In most spots, you don't hear the highway. And you've got these amazing sidewalks. You've got per cap probably the most parks of any major neighborhood anywhere. And some of those parks have these theaters in them, right? Like these, what do you call those outdoor amphitheaters?
Amphitheater.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's amazing. Central Park is really unique. It's done really well, but then and again, you've got this new development that's coming in with the Whole Foods and Colorado's just known for being active. Colorado's known for just wanting a healthy food choice. Um, Whole Foods has had a lot of success here.
Now, let me show you guys the next and final thing we're going to be chatting about here. This is the latest in terms of developments here in not the latest. There's a ton of stuff, but for what we're talking about today, if you go down south, we're going to head down south to Castle Rock, and the latest and greatest at Castle Rock is going to be on the south side. Let me go ahead and pop open my map here. The south side of Castle Rock. Let me share with you guys.
Little Google
Boom.
Earth action.
Here we go. Just map to start.
Okay.
So right here again, we've got I-25. Well, let me go out a little bit further and give you guys some clarity here. So we've got Denver right here. We're going to go south on I-25, roughly 35 minutes or so, down to Castle Rock. Now, if you guys have been,
It looks far. It looks far. Even during rush hour, our average
Mhm.
mile per hour is 34 miles an hour.
Correct. Yep.
Believe it or not, I know it looks far miles, but you can literally get to Castle Rock in 34 to 37 minutes from downtown Denver. It's amazing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when it looks like how it looks on the map, don't necessarily turn a blind eye to Castle Rock, depending on the type of living that you want. Could be one of the best spots for you for outdoor experience, livability, and still proximity.
Exactly. So down here on the south side of Castle Rock, you're going to have a couple different developments. You're going to have Crystal Valley, which is the bigger and slightly older development to Montaigne. Montaigne is specifically a Toll Brothers community. Again, we've talked a ton about this on our channel. You guys have seen these, but what's kind of kept these communities right here affordable is, first of all, I factor into two things. First of all, it is on the south side of Castle Rock. And with Castle Rock already being, 35 minutes from Denver, that extra 5 minutes on the highway does make it a little bit further for some people. And some of them are like, I just don't want to take that extra 5 minutes. So maybe I'll stay in Castle Rock, right? Well, there's two things that are happening, which I think is going to cause Montaigne and Crystal Valley to explode. First of all, they're adding a new interchange here to I-25. So an interchange being an exit. So right now, if you live in Crystal Valley, what you have to do is you have to exit I-25 at Plum Creek, which is right here. And then you have to take this frontage road 5 minutes down south to then get into the neighborhood. Well, that means if you're not actively going to Crystal Valley or Montaigne, you're just cruising on by it on the highway. You don't even really know it exists because there's no way to get to it without taking that frontage road. So they're already developing this exit that is going to go right here, which is going to take you right from I-25 to Crystal Valley Parkway. And that little bit of accessibility where it takes that 5-minute trip down to a 1-minute trip on the highway is going to bring a lot more exposure to Montana and Crystal Valley. But then, most importantly, here on just the west side of the highway, they are now putting in, let me get rid of that ad,
High
a
heels and boots.
high heels and boots. I know you can probably buy them out there
Yeah.
at your new Costco. So they're putting
Hey.
a Costco in there. It is slated for 2027. So they're already starting to clear all the land out and stuff like that. They're most likely going to be done with that store by 2027.
Correct. Now, Eli,
But
if you don't mind, just to get some
yes,
context, go back
please.
to the map.
Yep.
When we're talking about you guys commuting from work and you've got this spot, hey, cool. Listen, zoom out, not too far. Go up just a little bit further north. No. You're zoomed out too far. Way too far. There you go. I always compliment your map skills. You're like making me look bad.
I told you.
Tell me where the exit's going to be for Montaigne or
Yep.
excuse me, Crystal Valley. Yep.
Right here.
Now show me where the major shopping center is on the west side of the highway up north from here.
The outlets.
Yep. So if you go just north, you've got the outlets plus all your shopping. They've
Yep. So
added those
here's
strip
here's
malls,
here's downtown Castle Rock right here, old downtown, and then
old
you go a
downtown
little
on the
bit
east
further
side of the
north,
highway.
and then here you've got the outlets.
Okay, so it's not just when you guys are coming home from work. If you want to go shopping for groceries, you're going to hit that frontage road and hit the highway north and come up here a couple of exits,
Yes.
get your shopping. Then you're going to have to go back, do the frontage road again, and then go home. And it's not horrible. I don't want to over exaggerate. I think my voice sounds over exaggerated. But as you guys know, if you're doing things on a daily basis or by daily basis for shopping and whatever it may be during your weekly activities, it gets a little old. So to not
Yep.
only have an exit there, but then you're also getting a Costco on the south side of Castle Rock in your neck of the woods. I mean, you're literally just going to go from Crystal Valley. You're going to go right over the highway, head west, just go right on the overpass, right over the highway, and boom,
Mm-hmm.
you're at Costco. I mean, the convenience for South Castle Rock is going to be huge. If you live in Central or North Castle Rock, it's going to be huge because as South Castle Rock has grown, it's increased all the shopping in North Castle Rock because that's just where the shopping is. So now that they've got more south, it's going to free up Central and North, and then South just won't have to commute, right? So as far as
Yep.
just overall Castle Rock in general, this is a win-win. This is huge. This is the next chapter in overall livability and convenience for one of the best just overall cities you guys can be in Colorado.
Yes. Now let me read this to you guys because again, we mentioned what happens, what that means when a big company is coming into a certain area. This says the Dawson Trails project, which is that area, includes 5,850 new homes, 3.2 million square feet of commercial space, and the new highway interchange at I-25 and Crystal Valley Parkway. We just talked about that. Costco anticipates opening once the interchange is complete. The Castle Rock Costco plans to employ 300 people, so it's bringing new jobs to the area. Castle Rock's development plan said the new Costco will include 160,000 square feet of retail space, the new 16 pump gas station, that's going to be huge, and then 886 parking spaces and an on-site retention pond. So this is saying they're going to bring, 5,000 homes, right? Tons of more retail and shopping to come. Here we've got office buildings, retail stores, restaurants, commercial, and other permitted uses will provide employment, shopping, and local and regional destinations. So,
Right.
bottom line, guys, this is going to not just be this new Costco, but a huge, completely new part of Castle Rock that we haven't seen a development like this in probably 20 years down in Castle Rock.
Yeah, and just to give you guys a little bit more, right? Like, hey, but Eli, is that going to make Castle Rock overpopulated and too popular, and it's not going to be nice to live in? We say it all the time. Colorado is so unincorporated.
Yep.
When you guys can go 35 minutes out of the city and be in the boonies when you drive east, or just if you look at Castle Rock, the heart and majority, 95% of Castle Rock is just 35 minutes from downtown Denver. Guys, Castle Rock's going to go south, probably another 15-minute drive going. There's so much more space. There's so much more that's just unincorporated. It's not overpopulated. It can feel a little overpopulated for some of the commercial shopping, for some of the homes that are there. The one thing that also makes it feel a little overpopulated is because you have the outlets in Castle Rock. You get a lot of non-Castle Rockians, okay,
Mhm.
like Aurora Inns, Parker Inns, Denver Inns, and Centennial Inns
Mhm.
shopping down at the outlets on the weekends. And that can definitely make it feel like, man, this is overpopulated, it's congested, and it's the shopping, right? And some of it's the weekend with outlets, like I'm saying. But as they start adding things down south, it's cleaning up the commute. It's letting people that are south stay south. It's letting people central and north stay where they're at. And as that infrastructure grows, it will finally marry up. But as far as like overall, just is it mushed? Is it over congested? Definitely not. There's so much unincorporated land for Castle Rock, and even further south from that. As you guys know, you come from major cities, you could drive an hour and a half from downtown Chicago. Plenty of infrastructure still built. Anywhere,
Mhm.
I don't think you can drive in California north and south and not run into something. The only time I've ever driven a highway north to south in California and not seen infrastructure is when you're on the highway and you're passing Camp Pendleton, the 1st Marine Division.
Mm.
Yeah, you're going to drive for 30 minutes without seeing much, because on the east side of the highway is a Marine Corps base, the biggest Marine Corps base on the planet. There you go. Outside of that, you're not really going anywhere in California without seeing, infrastructure and
Yep.
things. And like, hey, is California maybe overbuilt? Okay, there's some conversation for that. But what I'm getting at is Colorado's not even close as far as like where it's incorporated. And you've got, I mean, so much out east. I mean, we're only really populating maybe a quarter of the state, really closer to the mountains.
Mhm.
Once you're in the mountains, there's only so much you can do there. Everything else is kind of hugged up around Denver. Then pretty much you go from Denver north all the way to Fort Collins, south all the way through Castle Rock and the Springs. But in between each of those, in between Denver and Fort Collins, if you're going north, okay, and then in between Denver and Colorado Springs when you're going south, there's so much
There is.
unincorporated that could fit a lot of population, a lot of cool landscape and natural landscape, and for people to live. Don't feel like you're over congested when you're seeing some of the infrastructure for Castle Rock. You might have some natives say some things, and I got it. And subjective to what Castle Rock was 20 years ago, well, it was horse and carriage 20 years ago. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
yes, subjective to 20 years ago, it's a lot different. It's a lot bigger. Subjective to where it could be, as long as they're holding with all the commercial development, you guys are going to be more than okay.
Yeah, and if you do want Little House on the Prairie, there are plenty of places that are Little House on the
I found.
Prairie.
Yeah,
I think that the desire, if you're moving to Castle Rock, you want the commercial, you want the development, you want the things to do, you want to be in kind of the mix of things.
but feel like
But
you live in the mountains. I mean, it's great.
truly,
You don't
yep,
get the convenience with the mountain living in
right,
many. I mean, you can kind of get that in Boulder, and Boulder's another conversation. Castle Rock is one of those unique spots, Eli, where you can literally feel like you're living in the mountains, but you have the convenience of suburbia. I mean, it's
100%.
man, it's really unique. It's
Yep.
really unique.
Yep, yep. So that's all we got, guys. I'm really excited for this new format. I'm excited for these new videos that we're going to be doing. So as we're doing more and more of these, again, set reminders on your calendar. It's a great way for you guys to jump on, interact with us, get some questions answered, and we'll just get you some answers here in real time and keep coming out with you guys with
Great.
more cool things that are exciting and happening within Denver and all the surrounding areas.
Correct. And you guys know we're realtors. As much as we love doing these lives on other videos, we love helping you guys with your real estate needs. I'm sure Eli's got a phone number or a QR
Our,
code that can
our
pop up.
our contacts everywhere. Yeah,
There
click
you go.
anywhere on the
That's fine.
screen, you'll see it. Yep.
Amazing. Well, Eli, man, this has been fun. I'm excited for every Tuesday moving forward.
Yeah.
Um, but guys, until next week, man, we'll see you guys Saturday on a video. But until next Tuesday, we'll see you guys. And if you have questions before then, please feel free to throw us an email. We're happy to maybe start some of our videos with some of your questions.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Well, have a great night, guys, and we'll see you next time.